You're listening to the Oracle Talk Radio Network.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm Dasha.
Hey, I'm Billie Eilish.
What's up, guys? I'm Camila Cabello.
Hey, this is Tate McRae.
I love this station.
I love this station.
You're listening to Chasing Prophecy Radio, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. On the Oracle Talk Radio Network. Broadcasting live in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia.
If it's unexplainable, we're talking about it.
Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, we cover everything where the unknown becomes the known. And now, here are your hosts, Jenny Nicasio and Tom Callway.
Welcome to Chasing Prophecy, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal on the Oracle Talk Radio Network in Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. I'm Jenny Nicasio, along with my co-host, Tom Callway. Hey, Tom.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Good to see you. How's everything in the world of weird, Jenny, with you this week?
Oh, a lot of weird stuff. I just got a crazy message on TikTok from someone that said that tonight TikTok's going to go dark. Now, and the reason why I should probably found that TikTok, that apparently, remember we had Rebecca on, she was talking about the Galactic Federation.
Oh, yeah, the Galactic Federation. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently they made contact and they are actually coming to Earth, if not already here. So their mothership or whatever, somebody is coming to Earth. So I don't know if it's true or not, but there's a little rumor going around TikTok that it is true. So I don't know if you heard anything about this.
Yeah, actually I did. And that's funny you mentioned Rebecca, because it was actually her page, and she's moved into like actually channeling while doing her videos and things like that. So hey guys, I see people jumping in the chat here. Squatch Man, good to see you. Holly, always a pleasure.
Hi guys.
So she was actually channeling at that point and was saying, keep calm, in your month of March we will be allowing our vibrations to be seen on your third dimension.
Mm-hmm. That's what the rumor is. I don't know.
And she said by June, I think it was June, it might have been July, but she said by June or July, even the skeptics will be believers. And that was her latest message.
Where's does she? I don't know, but that's what they were talking about. So I've been staying awake all night because my dog keeps making me get up in the middle of the night to let her out. So I'm going to keep checking to see if it really does go dark on TikTok. Now there could be other things that's going on with it. It's maybe something with China and they made it some kind of an agreement. I know TikTok is back on the Apple Store and Google Play that you can download it. Yeah. So a few weeks ago, you couldn't do that. So I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. But, there's a lot of crazy stuff going out there. I mean, we are going into March, and I know Mercury in retrograde will be happening twice in March, which kind of blows my mind because my birthday's in March. And I'm already having I don't know, there's something going on with me, like something in the atmosphere that's going on. So I don't know if it's just me or if there is something. I know the planets were aligned the last couple of weeks ago. So I don't know if that had something to do with it. A lot of crazy stuff out there. So
and we love that here on our show. Believe us. And then all of you wonderful listeners, special thank you and shout outs to everybody who's been a member on Spreaker, Patreon, and just our bump of downloads. Thank you guys so much for listening and taking time out of your day to listen to us rant about all this cool stuff.
Yeah. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on, but we do appreciate our viewers. And I'm so glad that, there's people in the chat that we can talk to. So if you have the link, share it with people so we can spread our wings out there and get more viewers.
Entertain more people.
Because it's you guys that make us, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. So
that's for sure.
Something to think about. So let's see, is there Just want to make sure some more people can jump on before we
Yeah.
get into our conversation for tonight. So just let you know that if you think you have a story to tell, we want to have you tell it on as a
Yeah.
guest. And if you are someone who's been thinking about a podcast and you want to do it, this is the place to do it. You can just contact me or Tom. You can check us out. You can send us an email at Oracle Talk Radio Network
At gmail.com.
gmail.com, or you can send us a direct message and we'd love to talk to you.
Absolutely. Can't wait to hear from all of you. We want as many stories as possible because this network is for you.
Yeah. And we're glad you. And if you have a page and you want us to be on your page, let us know too. But
Oh yeah, we love being guests.
yeah, definitely. But we have a good show planned for tonight. So
know.
Tom, what if I told you guys, Holly, Squashman, what if I told you that unseen forces were shaping your life, your emotions, your energy, the very sense of purpose you have on life, and they could be harnessed and refined and elevated up.
I need a harness. I would need
Yeah,
to do
and
that.
Tom, if there's barriers holding you back, fear, doubt, pain from the past, and I know we all have them, but
Right
sometimes
here.
we have these
Right in my heart
feelings.
chakra.
Yeah, seriously, like if you clear those out, like you have to get harnessed and you got to tap into the energy and ground yourself. But sometimes you felt like you actually sense things, like you think, oh, wait, and then you blow it off and say it's just my imagination. But what if I told you tonight we will embark on a journey into the hidden realms of consciousness, and where divine gifts await those bold enough to claim them. So this isn't just another discussion, it's an awakening, a call to step beyond the ordinary and into the extraordinary. Okay? So I want you guys to think a moment in your life when you felt a deep knowing, okay? An unshakable feeling that something greater was at play. Maybe you sensed the guidance in the dark hours at night, or the whispers and the chaos of your dreams. When you get up in the middle of the night and you just can't go back to sleep because you feel like something's going on. But what if we could access that wisdom, Tom?
I would need
On demand.
2 people's worth.
So the thing is, how do you tune into the frequencies that shape our destiny? So tonight we have 2 guests. But first one I'm going to mention, then you're going to talk about our other guests. David Starr. Now, he's walked through the fire of a near-death experience. It shattered the limits of his understanding and opened the doors to higher consciousness. And he's here to share what he learned on the other side, how we can cleanse our energy, heal our past, and ascend to a higher state of being. So we're going to explore the power of vibration and how your energies influences everything around you. And we also have another guest, Tom.
Absolutely. Our second guest on with David is Francesca Rose, who's a writer, spiritual mentor, omni-source consciousness teacher, and healer who has dedicated over 15 years to empowering individuals in self-love and inner alignment. Through her work in the beauty industry as an esthetician, she has helped countless people connect with their inner source guidance system. Francesca lives a life devoted to her children, love, spirituality, and to Source/God. As a mother of 2 wonderful sons, Maximus and Xavier, and 2 beloved Pomeranian daughters, Nugget Fairy and Honey Bun Fairy, Francesca embarks on a lifestyle of love and compassion. She shares her journey and mission to help others find God within, cultivating joy, peace, and spiritual awareness. So without further ado, let's bring on David and Francesca. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Yeah, and David, he's also he has a course on the Master Journey in spiritual hygiene, how counselors individuals unlock their potential and fulfill their lives. So this is going to be a good show. So guys, you're going to show us how your energy influences everything around us and this inner child healing. So who are we going to start with? Tom, what do you think, David?
Let's start with David and and let's hear a little bit about who you are and where you come from. Let the audience get to know you a little bit before we get into it.
Well, listening to everything that was talked tonight, I'll share briefly my near-death experience. I was 10, I got thrown into a wall. We were kind of low on food at the time, and my brother took the last bowl of soup from me and chucked me. As I hit the wall, everything goes dark, and I see this celestial, not Milky Way, but like that. It was more pink and purple, and this golden light star. And I don't know if I was taken there or if it was this memory at the same time, but I was clearly this golden light star, and I'm being shown my life, 20 years of it actually, and I'm 10 at the time. And it was like in full, there was all these screens, like 100 screens of memories and things that I was going to go through and experience. And of course, the first 10 years, I was 10 at the time, so I knew all of that. And then the next 20 years, it was the same thing. I was going through all these memories of things that I was going to be experiencing. And this fatherly, like male cosmic father kind of voice asked me if I wanted to accept this life. And I was like, wow, this is pretty tough. And then he said, well, after 20, it gets much better. And then I see myself agreeing to it. And then I come to, it's like I came to, then I woke into this pool of blood, and it was devastating. I had 144 stitches, and the end of it got taken to the hospital. Amazingly, there wasn't a fractured skull. Somehow the doctor was really surprised. He says, you are lucky to be alive. We don't know how you didn't crack your skull in this impact. But all of these things are running through my mind, and it took me a half a year to recover from this injury. I think I was away from school for 3 months, even, actually. It looked like Frankenstein with a shaved head. But it sort of like jarred this inner guidance and this voice that was sort of with me, that has always been with me now, which I've found is also my higher self. Throughout my life, and kind of encouraging me and comforting me. But it was a really weird 10 years, from like 10 to 20, because I always knew it was going to happen, who was going to be there, what was going to happen. And I was always in this deja vu state. It was the strangest thing ever. But finally, once I got past that 20-year marker, things were kind of new and unknown. But so naturally, this gives me this whole awareness that there's more to life than one life, and we choose these lives. And is everybody in the stars? Maybe. I don't know all of that yet, but I have seen these realms afterwards of where souls transition and they get life reviews, and some souls who embody like universal consciousness can access other realities other than Earth and stuff. And there's these universal gatekeepers in what we would call like a heavenly type of realm, where there's angels and soul light review teams and stuff like that. So it's pretty spectacular. But one of the things I wanted to mention, because I've had a lot of extraterrestrial contact in dream state, in awakened state. I've had ships, many light ships in my house. I've had ships outside of my house. I've had motherships, and I have, to support what you're discussing, 2025, the Octurians came to me not too long ago, and they're these blue beings. They just have the most amazing big blue heads, and they're so loving and compassionate towards Earth and humanity's ascending consciousness. And they said to me, 2025 is the beginning where the terrestrials are going to be reaching out to many people across the planet, and people are going to be having positive ET contact. Because when you go on the documentaries now, like on Netflix or Amazon, it's mostly just negative ETs that are, and like Anunnaki mysteries and these things that are just a little bit lower on the totem pole of consciousness, that people believe this is what ET, and sure, there are those kinds of ETs out there, but there's very positive ETs out there, like the Octurians, Andromedans, Palladians, who look more human-like but with long white hair, and they'll visit me too. But the positive ones are just super impressed that humanity has hit this tipping point in consciousness. And this is like what you're seeing in the political landscapes with this corruption being exposed. It's not just a fluke of Donald Trump being elected and the Dodge committee going through. It is because humanity has hit a point of consciousness, and an awakening has happened, and it's beyond global awakening. It is going across the entire planet, and it's going to explode this year, like hundreds of millions, near 1 billion souls awaken this year, is what my teams have told me. And what that does is it goes from a closed heart system that we have been living in, like the dark ages, if you will, where there's a lot of fears and wars and all these different negative things, to an open heart system that these positive extraterrestrials and teams of light are coming in to support for everybody's journey, which the eventuality of this means peace on earth, a more of a heart-based reality that's very supported by these positive extraterrestrial contacts. And it's going to be happening across the planet. And there's going to be a lot of stories, a lot of positive encounters. And this is what extraterrestrials want now, because they want to get out of the mentality of these negative extraterrestrial documentary types of like experiences of abductees and hybridization, even though that did happen. But they want to get out of that dogma, because that was what was happening in the closed heart system. And now we're going into an open heart system, which means that our hearts need different energies. Our hearts need a different reality. And so this matrix, if you will, if you want to call it that, then is going to be supporting a more of a positive extraterrestrial system. And that's why they're coming in now and making these contacts, because reality is changing due to this awakening that's happening.
Wow. Wonderfully said there. A lot to unpack. I'd love to pick your brain on that. But first, let me flip on over to Francesca. Go ahead and introduce yourself and a little bit about your background, and then we can get into the questions here.
Hi. I'm from Pittsburgh, and I know that Jenny, you're from Pittsburgh, right? Aren't you?
Yes.
So I think that's really cool. I grew up as a mystic. I've always been this way since I was a child. I was casting spells in the backyard, trying to just be a magical creature. I've been talking to my guardian angel since I was 5. So I didn't realize that it was a gift to be able to channel like energies until I got older. But when I was 12, I had my huge spiritual awakening when I saw a little girl floating over my bed, and she flew into the other room, and my brother screamed at the same time as me. So we both saw the ghost at the same time, and we were screaming. So I had a foot in many realms ever since I was a child, and I was very good at reading people, and I'd deliver messages to people, and they would cry all the time. And I just have been giving spiritual advice for so many years. I've been mentoring people for years, doing healings, teaching classes to people on how to activate your spiritual gifts and to align with your source energy. So my life has just been very devoted. Hi, Joe. My life has been very devoted to God and the mission of spreading human consciousness. So it's all about me.
Excellent.
Very.
Thanks.
It's fascinating.
Thank you.
So how do you guys like? Okay, so you can channel Francesca, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I
David, do you do that too?
Yeah,
Or
I've actually, like, on all my courses that I teach, it's all from channelings that I've done.
Oh.
It's like the information that comes through channeling it's unbelievable, and it's really the precursor to talking to animals and pets and having conversations. And you would think that, is this really possible? But when the pets and things start doing the things that you're talking to them to do, and
Mhm.
or birds are landing on you, like, it's just like, you can't dispute some of these things, but it's magical. It's a magical
Sounds like it.
reality
Yeah.
that when we start tapping into this channeling in this love energy and the source energy, and it's because we're all connected. It is because, like, we are all connected by these light strands, and we all come from the same, like, if we want to call it this prime source construct, where that is truly love. Like, everybody is actually love, despite no matter what anybody's ever told you, or you're actually pure love in your actual true energetic form. And this true love, we're all connected to. So it's really a
Mhm.
true love story that we're all in right now, that we play over and over from life to life, and romance and happiness, and this, and so me and Francesca channel, and what we're discussing, like, in this book that we co-authored, is how to tap into that within yourself, and how you have all of these teams, like these angels. You even have, like, it's really cool. It's so awesome. There's literally, like, universal masters, universal guardians, all of these amazing consciousness teams, and there's some of them are so incredibly aware that they can connect within you, and you can connect to them, and have the most amazing dialogue, and gain insights and knowledge that you would have never have known. And where it comes interesting is, like, if you're an inventor, of course, naturally you're gonna be into some really cool inventions and getting
Yeah.
this really awesome information. But sometimes it's just nice to talk to these, like, beautiful angels, or these universal galactic beings, and get guidance on your life, and, like, which during difficult decisions. And it's just a way different way of living, basically. Like, before channeling, I never did any of that, and now, after, I don't know how I would ever live without having all these teams to talk to, and navigate my life with. It's just a different experience. It's pretty neat.
So is there specific signs or signals that people can look for when trying to connect with their higher, like, dimensional beings? What do you think?
Well, definitely, like, the signs that everybody will start off getting is usually numbers, like 11,
Numbers?
11, 11, 4, 4,
Okay.
4, or
See,
5,
I
5,
always
5.
get that. I just got one before the show. 111.
Yeah, and I highly recommend, when you see those numbers, to search them, because it's literally a message coming through in a way that the divine and the teams are reaching out. Um, but alternatively, and what we're discussing is, like, connecting into your heart portal. And so the heart chakra it could be a mystery, but, like, once you start breathing into it, and just, like, bringing your awareness into it, and going into the love of your heart chakra,
Mhm.
with the intention of connecting, let's say, to an angel guide, or maybe an ascended master, or a universal galactic being that is, like, watching over you, like a Nocturian or something, and you just intend to connect into there, you begin to visualize and feel the energy of it, and connect into it. And once the secret is like the heart to heart connection. And so they are within you, and these angels, because we are, the truth is, we're all connected. So you can find
Mhm.
anybody inside of yourself and channel anything at all. But people usually like to start with people that they know, like maybe a family member who's crossed, or an angel guide. And so it's good to start, or if somebody likes Christ, or somebody likes Buddha, whoever, Krishna, whoever it is that you trust. And so you breathe in, and you intend to connect your heart energy within to this amazing family member, or master, or angelic guide. And you just exhale, and you make those heart connections, and you begin to bring awareness into that, and start asking the questions when you feel that heart to heart contact, because it is the heart to heart, where it brings in the telepathic chakras, which are like the right below the ear chakras. And so the heart signal then brings this into the ear chakras, which are these, like, signal chakras, to decode the frequency and the signal of the frequencies that you're speaking to, where you can hear them as words. And so that's sort of like a a, a small tutorial of connecting to
Yeah.
your guides.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, thank you for all of that. I want to get to a question that popped up by Holly here in the chat, and this is for anybody. Somebody on our show, a previous show of ours, said ETs can also believe in a higher power, whether it's source, God, whatever you name it. Is that true? Does anybody have a thought on that?
It's definitely true, but they're already connected to the higher power because they're in the higher consciousness construct. So they never lost their connection like we did, because human consciousness now is evolving because the 144,000 frequency of God has been tapped into by more humans than ever before. And our divine awareness is being resurrected from within and spreading like wildfire all over the planet. So people are going to start understanding that we're all connected to source. We all are source energy. And as your vibration rises, you become tuned in to all these things that the galactics are already tuned into. And we're going to be able to actually see the galactics like me and David can, because we already have evolved senses. So since we have that higher vibration, everybody else on the planet is now raising up to that vibration as well.
Great answer. There you go, Holly.
William wants to know, what does David or Francisca think about the concept of portals? I've been to places described as portals, but can't say that I felt any. That's from William.
Yeah.
What do you
Well,
say?
it's like there's so many portals, and it's best to think of it in terms of frequencies. And when you go like these, so you go to Mount Shasta, for example, we're doing an actual retreat out in Mount Shasta, and why we pick that place is because when you go into this place, the frequencies like this love bliss. And when you are in higher frequencies, you can have different contacts, and literally that's when you will end up seeing these other dimensional beings and feeling these connections and having these really cool experiences. That's why raising your vibration and frequency is actually like a must do in raising your awareness and consciousness, because it's like higher frequencies are trying to speak to lower frequencies. Once you start raising your frequencies up to levels, you can have more contact, more experiences, and more feelings. And so this person is discussing, I went to maybe they went to Arizona to a vortex or another place, and then have a good experience. And so this is actually why we put this book, Your Higher Power, together, because it's not easy to understand once you awaken, like what to do and how to connect, because like there's some of these beings that are like in 8D, 9D, and their concepts are different. Like in their they always work on collectives, and they feel more on collective levels. And if something in the collective consciousness is out of love sync, whatever, they all go and support it to raise it back up. Let's get everybody back into this high consciousness state. Then when you go into like these 6D like levels, like the Earth is ascending into a 5D level, which is this is where this whole open contact happens, and it's going to blow everybody's mind when that happens. But in 6D, there's still physicality, but it's just absolute purity. There's no like these things like that would be temptations and other things. It just doesn't exist. It's just pure love, purity, uncorrupted energy. And these types of people will have like, in how they believe in higher powers and connect to, they will have celebrations of light all the time. So they're always doing ceremonies and honoring achievements of souls and when souls expand. And so they're always celebrating soul expansions, because that's how you evolve as a soul, basically. And so when someone comes into their, let's call it their time, like adulthood, they'll have ceremonies to celebrate their highest past lives. where they were most dedicated to the light and love, and they'll bring this most beautiful and celebration. Hey, this is what you've done in the past. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate this life. And they're able to tap into that just consciously. Even some who have the technology take it to another level, and can like literally go play by play, but others can experience the life consciously, and they connect hearts and they connect in these ceremonies together to celebrate the soul. And so it's like Earth is meant to evolve into this eventually, but first we're meant to evolve out of the old programming, out of the old fear. And so the portals all exist within you, and you can connect. But when you think of it in terms of frequencies, that there's higher frequencies and lower frequencies. And in the higher frequencies, like even in like crystalline consciousness, that's where you'll get more of your 6D, some 5D, 6D consciousness that you can tap into, and it's a little bit closer to Earth. It's not, so like, how do you get to 8D and 9? You're raising your frequency, but you can be ungrounded in these higher realms because they're work more on collective consciousness, whereas like 6D, 5D, a little bit more like Earth, and there's actually humans that have ascended already and they're in above and a higher frequency, and they can actually see you. It's crazy, but they are actually living an experience on Earth in a higher frequency reality. They can see you, and I've seen them in certain what we call portal spots. There's not a whole lot. There's many thousands that have already ascended and they're in another higher frequency just above ours, having a life and an experience. But we're just, until you raise your frequency, then it will be hard to connect to them. But this is like what when you start working on this, it's this whole magical way of living and connecting to the land. And like when me and Francesca go places, we'll connect into the land and see, does the land need any healing? Because there's usually all kinds of different wars between British and the US and or in Canada and or in Europe, like. And it's no matter where you go, you can feel the frequencies, like, and so we are trying to create a way for the planet to raise its frequency. So whenever we go to these places, we do these like what we call light work or grid work, and we heal things to raise the frequency up, and then higher frequencies come through, which then raises out the whole geographical area for everybody living in that area, and then their hearts open more, even if they don't realize it, and then it starts allowing for what we call this ascension that's happening on the planet, going from these 3D to these 5D levels, which has got to such a point, like Francesca is saying, now the Galactics are coming in a much more meaningful, intentional way to assist everybody in raising their frequencies and consciousness. And I know that's just because it's more about frequency than it is about portal. So I just wanted to explain that.
It's powerful stuff. So how do you like Nicole wants to know, how do you raise your frequency?
There's so many ways to raise your frequency. The best thing I like to tell everybody to do is it's all about what you consume. And I'm not just talking about food, which food is huge, eating live food, fruits, vegetables, raw food that raises your frequency. What TV you watch. I don't watch TV anymore. I don't watch any media because I'm not going to give my source creational power and energy and feed into the negative narratives that they're trying to push upon us. So I just focus my energy inward on my interdimensional travels and connecting with higher realms and frequencies and telepathically communicating to higher vibrational beings like angelics and fairies and ETs. I don't surround myself with negative people. That's the biggest thing. You need energetic boundaries, and you can send people love. but you do not have to bring toxicity into your life and be around toxic people. And David is the best at spiritual hygiene. He has courses on it, and that's the best way to raise your frequency. He can speak more to it, the spiritual hygiene.
What's that, David?
Yeah. Well, it's like the quickest way to raise your frequency is doing shadow work. It's just to basically accept which is almost 100% of the population has been playing in these cycles, right? When I say cycles, I mean like segments of time on Earth, whether you were in the Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, the Stone Ages, in Egyptian lifetimes, in the Renaissance era, whenever it was, we've played these roles, and these roles, some of them are really beautiful lives, and they're just amazing. Our dream life, and everybody has these amazing, like riding on horses, being completely abundant, meeting the divine partner of your dreams. Most amazing, beautiful life. We've all had those. Those are just great. But we've also had these lives where we've played in wars, or we've done these different things that are very frowned upon. And so, what ends up happening is these cumulative things end up coming back to bring us into your frequency right now. And so what is happening and playing out in your life right now is cyclical to karma that's still on the table from past lives that you have participated in. So you can spot it in your life. If there is things that are bringing in unhappiness in relationships, in business, in friendships, there is something that you have done, because it's about getting into the out of the victimhood and claiming that your power back, basically. But like, if something bad is happening to you in these different things, there's something that you have done in the past, and so what shadow work is, or inner work, is healing this within yourself. And we explain how to do it in the book. It's not super easy, but the easiest way to explain it is if somebody betrayed you. Let's just say they slept with your partner, or they backstab you in business. You've done it to them in some past life, and it's just being paid back, and it's this cyclical thing. And so instead of being the victim, you just bring it into your heart, and you intend to find that vibration in the past where you've done that to them, right? And forgiving yourself, and then you flood the timeline with golden light, and just everything is forgiven. But then you got to come back into your now moment and send them love and forgiveness for what they did, and completely let the entanglement of this karmic playback leave and go. And when you do that, it's just complete like freedom that happens, and energetically you've just cleared out this kind of cycle that has been forming, and it will not stop playing out until you fully release it. It's the most, karma is very annoying because it always keeps coming back until you address it, right? So it's when you address this karma and this energy, and you clear out that, it's like a storage of density, and it will just leave you. And then like somebody was talking about, they work with the law of attraction. Then your vibration is in your frequency is vibrating at this, I won't betray other people, and people won't betray me. So if you are finding love, you're going to find a different kind of love now. And so you will find maybe there's a different lesson, maybe there's a different thing that plays out, but you're vibrating at a higher love frequency to attract for your relationship, whether it's a partner, a friend, or a business associate. So we do break it all out. It's a lot. There's a lot. And ascending from the old 3D into the 5D, there's a lot to know. And I think we did a pretty good job at putting it all in a book, in your higher power book. I think we put a lot into it.
Yeah. I mean, Wonderful examples, and thank you. Keep bringing the questions in, everyone. Um, let me go with one specific here, and both of you can jump in on this. A lot of new media, right? You know what I mean? A lot of new media, such as YouTube, has videos of people, or has videos of meditations, of beat meditations, of guided meditations, of things like that. Um, are those, do those work, or should people be looking somewhere else?
I think meditation works, but you really have to discern who is speaking the meditation to you, because they may not be a pure vessel. You want to discern if it feels good to your heart. You can listen to that meditation, but I think that meditation is really a great guided meditation is really great for beginners on their journey, to use that as a tool, a connection tool for God's source energy inside of yourself. So it takes you to that Zen, higher dimensional planes of existence and realms. And I did a lot of guided meditations when I was younger, because it's really relaxing and good. But you just want to make sure that it feels good to you. If it doesn't, try a different guided meditation out. And I live my life in a constant meditative state now. I can go in and out of those states of consciousness myself, and just tap into the higher dimensional realities naturally, because I've done it for so long. But I think meditation is definitely a good gateway to starting to connect with those energies.
And
Excellent.
going within yourself too. Like, so it's like one of the best that everybody can benefit from, even on this show. Like, as we are children, we have these emotional wounds, and it always comes down to not being loved in the way that we should have, in this perfect condition that we believe that the world should be. Because it's so simple when we're children, and the adults, it's not so simple, because obviously, as we know, they're in the background trying to provide and trying to figure things out and dealing with their own baggage. And so it's like, sometimes there's a lot of neglect, and they're not giving even their investment in themselves. So naturally, then they're not giving their investment in their children. And so we have this emotional scarring. But what everybody can do, even on the show, that is just super easy, is just place your hand over your heart and intend to open up all of the places where you're hiding because of different neglect or abuse that was received as a child. And you just will call in everybody's angels to bring in healing and to bring into a light, and just to know that you're safe and you can rescue this inner child within yourself, and just open up all of these doors, all of these hiding places where you go and hide throughout your childhood, and just call in all this divine light to come in, and the heavenly angels just come in and to heal the hearts of this child, and to know this child is safe. And then in one blast, you just forgive your parents fully, forgiving them fully, and sending them love, and sending love to this every moment of this child and all these doors where it's hiding. And you just fill it with this love, and you let all of the old energies go. And this child, then you embrace this child, and then you tell this child to come out of all of these hiding places in the heart, and let it know it's safe to come out. We're healing it. We're moving past it. And then you just love this child, and you invite this child to come in to celebrate in this adventure in your life. And you're like, you know what? It is simple, and we can play, and it is not the world that was imposed upon us. We're going to have our own magical adventure, our own magical, and start playing again in a healed heart. And it just releases so much of the conditional things that the closed heart system had created in damaging our childhood adventure. And we get out of it, and we heal, and we move past it, and that raises your frequency. And what it does, that is truly the law of attraction, to invite in this childhood play back into our lives. And and like when you're wearing the hat and getting into the energy of the wizard and the mystical, this is the conquest of coming into a whole new way of living, because we're letting go of all of the old. And this is what these extraterrestrials are trying to get to let us know, that you can do all of this within inside of yourself, completely break free energetically and open up to this magic. But there's this, you got to let go of the old and come into the new. And this little meditation that we just did is guiding into your heart. And so when meditations are guiding you within yourself, then those will always be opportunities to expand and to have these great experiences.
Real quick, David, thank you, because between Jenny and I, this is the first time on any of our episodes we had a guided meditation. So that wasn't my intent, but thank you.
I was just bonus. I was like, I had a couple gummies before I started.
I wish I did.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, I'll see this. I'm like, wow,
this is cool. This is good. So that's Chasing Prophecy for everyone, just so you know, this is how we do our show. So this is fantastic. And the reason why I asked that was that's how I got brought into meditations, was the guided. And as simple as a body scan, right? As simple as a body scan meditation, where I think that is a guided one, because you have to focus on a body part. You know what I mean? And depending on which one it is, feel your arm, feel how it lays, feel how I needed the basics of the basics to get anywhere. And, I think people who want to start meditation, how many give up before they even actually really try? You know what I mean? How many give up before they actually even do anything that's even close to meditative? Because I don't get it. And we're such an action world that, I have a headache, I take Advil, it's gone. Meditation does not work that way. You know what I mean? So I just, I really, had to get that out there, that, there are means, and you don't have to, be privileged enough to channel. You can start your own meditative journey wherever you are on that spectrum.
There was a point where for about 9 months of my life, because I couldn't see with my third eye, and I was like, I would sit for hours and meditate, and all I see was gray, and it drove me insane. And finally I broke through that. But it also taught me something when I did see, and what is meditation exactly, and how do you meditate? And I had 9 months of nothing, 9 months of like hours every night, nothing. But it didn't stop me from pushing the board. And finally, when I broke through, so what we found out after all these meditations is all of these magical source constructs and the angelics and the all of these higher frequency and dimensions are all within inside of us. And then so you start tuning into that and tapping into that, you will have the experience. And this this is why, like, me and Francesca teamed up, because we're like, you know what, there's so much confusion around how to do everything. Let's just put it all into like a way that's easy for anybody, whether they're beginner or super advanced, where they can just go to all these levels or frequencies and all these things that exist within, and you will always have the experience like we did today. But it's like so we did this book together called Your Higher Power, and we put all of these different, it's like a amazing way for everybody to find it within themselves, basically, right? But you can find it all even without the book within yourselves. But it's definitely nice to have sort of like some assistance in how and how it works.
Hold your hand
a little bit, yeah. I never got that. Francesca was talking about it. She keeps bugging me. We got to put the book on audio. We got to put it on right now. It's hardcover and on Amazon and some other sites. We have the links on in your higherpowerbook.com. But we will have eventually an audio version for sure. But you have to be careful when you take the gummies, because then you're just going to go float off into a whole other level.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know not to go to
Jason
dentists
Prophecy
with
After Dark.
I just do it because I'm in pain. I have
Yeah, I
Hey,
know.
I feel that.
You don't have to justify yourself to
Yeah,
anyone.
no. Like the pain
But
is
it
a
just
real
really
thing.
got. It just really that meditation just made me. I'm ready for bed.
Yeah. When you have these like releases
I'll
and
handle the
stuff,
rest of it.
you tend like when you upgrade, you tend like your body wants to go to sleep, and it's just you. Like it's really cool. What happens actually when you go to bed. People just think we just go off into this another dream state. Nobody can understand it. Your actual body stays in bed to heal. Your
Your
soul,
subconscious
your soul takes
going on a
off.
ride.
Yeah, and all these
He's
cool
out.
things. Like it is so neat. Like I've literally waken up and I'm working with other like humans in their soul bodies and their light forms, and we're working with other people on the planet to help them for the awakening, and we're doing activations, and it's just like this is what's really happening when we go. Like we are actually all getting together, because this is Team Earth here. This isn't like Team David and Francesca. It's Team Humanity, and we're like, we've had enough of the manipulation and the darker agendas, and we're like, we're gonna break through this. But how? It's like, so we have these secret meetings when we go to sleep, and we're all working together, and like even like nothing is coincidence and everything's synchronized, and it's like, when are we going to meet certain people, or when are we going to go and get inspired and come on Chasing
So
Prophecy?
you're telling. So
Like,
you guys
it's-
meet up in your dreams. I think.
we all are. We all
Why
are.
don't you
It's
call
not
me
just-
up tonight? I want to come to you one of your meetings.
Yeah, sure. We'll have a big one together. It'll be a big energetic powwow. It'll
Yeah,
be really
we'll
good.
have a big old party. She'll know it too, because you'll bring her another gummy, and
Yeah.
be like
funny.
Inception, a dream gummy. You know, that's like 3
Yeah,
times as powerful as any of that. One of the questions here that I wanted to get to too, right? And it wouldn't be Chasing Prophecy without this one. Do you believe, and anyone can speak on this, do you believe there are hidden truths that the government or institutions keep from us regarding galactic beings?
They do, but it's inside of us all. Me and David get a lot of channelings on the hidden truths. We post them all the time.
Great.
Because we house source consciousness inside, which is all energy waves and frequencies of consciousness right inside of us all. So we are the most advanced technology that there is. Like, technology is just an archetypical representation of what we are inside. Like, we can literally do anything. We are the most advanced beings in the Godverse. So you can find these truths within yourself. And the government, sure, they get people like us and experiment on them, and psychic people, and they know the truth because it's people like us that went inside of ourselves and connected to our higher power and our source self and found these truths out.
And there's a lot of known collaborations. So like it sort of seems like, if you do the rabbit hole thing, that the Antarctica program is a real collaboration, and they already have. I've seen it in Astral, and they're already working with the teleportation devices and extraterrestrials. NASA secretly has a Stargate program, and it's a real thing where they open up these stargates and go to other planets and worlds, and they're trading all kinds of things already with these extraterrestrials, and I've seen it, and some of the things are very questionable and immoral, if you will. They don't have the planet's heart at interest. And then they also have this like breakout society that they're forming with these governments and stuff, with technology that's probably 100 years into the future that it'll eventually come to Earth. And so the government has been very much self-benefiting certain funding sources, and like elite type of people in collaboration with certain extraterrestrials, but some of the extraterrestrials are working with these because they are representations of humanity's like politically appointed empowered leaders and stuff. So but ultimately it hasn't been super on board, and a lot of it has been destructive in its form and how they negotiate and what they're negotiating with, and they're having off-world experiences in all these other planets, and they're hiding it. So it's not been up on the board, but the truth is going to come out, and the Galactics, the ones who are extremely positive, are coming on to meet with everybody now. And most of the ones that are super positive, to be honest with you, have stayed out of the dealings with the questionable negotiational trading that the US and other countries have been doing in the Stargate program, because they understand the karmic implications. So the higher extraterrestrials are coming in now, and it's going to change everything, as far as they will eventually have full contact, and they will be bringing in amazing technology that's meant to help a collective and unity, technologies that end world hunger, that homelessness,
free energy.
Yeah, exactly. And this is why we are meeting secretly in all these meetings at night, and we're getting together, because we're like, hey, we're gonna evolve as a race, and we're gonna come into this golden era and this 5D type consciousness, and it's really beautiful when this happens. And so, but we're all just doing our part now to open up these doors and to raise the frequency, to invite this in for everybody, because it's time to put an end to the deception. It's just been going on for far too long.
Totally hear that. I'm just going to say London, Italy, LA. That's, if you understand that, you understand where the majority of these things are coming from in terms of ungodly wealth and the power to make things happen. I really appreciate what you said on that in the Stargate project. And one of the best and the worst thing is it's in plain sight. Anybody can FOIA a document. I'm not special because I FOIA documents and get them out. Anybody can. Stargate Project is a declassified document. Anybody can go and read exactly what happened in that. Remote viewing programs for Mars back in 1984. You know what I mean? People just have to be able to know where to go and know, how to find these things. It's unbelievable. And people like you, do you, and they experiment with you to see, who have these skill sets. Is that forced, or are people like you willing to do that?
Well, they have willing, and so this is what I say when they're more destructive. The governments unfortunately understand a lot more about frequency and what's happening on the planet, and they are fully aware there's an ascension happening. And so they are monitoring all of the people like myself and Francesca. And this is how I find out a lot of what they're doing. And when I say Stargate, I mean like the movie, like where they have the circle and it opens up a passageway to another world. And because I can follow frequency, and so I've seen in the basements in some of NASA's building structures that they're monitoring people who are expanding consciousness. I've seen their documents. I can read their documents, and so this is But what my intention is, if I ever, because I will follow the frequency. If there's a frequency trying to tap into me from the U.S. government, for example, I will follow it back and I will disconnect it so it can't. I will jam it up because I don't just allow this kind of thing to happen, but they understand frequency, and so they're looking at these big light spectrums and trying to understand what are they doing and stuff, and monitoring this whole consciousness evolution that's happening on the problem. Meanwhile, they're secretly having meetings with off-world extraterrestrials, even future extraterrestrials. You can actually go into the future, and but the main thing is like what me and Francesca are discussing is like, you know, you do this work and go inside yourself. We're breaking out of this whole controlled narrative where these small group of people who are like almost like imprisoning in a way, like or enslaving consciousness, or trying to like feed like these stories that asteroids are gonna have a 1% chance of hitting the Earth, and then it's doubled, and now it's tripled in 7 years, and they just, why? Like this, just like they're just trying to get fear and lower the consciousness, and this is why Francesca had an amazing point about not taking that in, and where do you give your energy? And so when we start taking our power back and tapping into our higher power and our consciousness, then we're opening up doors where, okay, governments, you can play with these other ETs that are having these questionable trades and Finnick and monitor all you want. Meanwhile, we're going to have some Arcturians or some Palladians actually taking us on their ships, giving us some really cool things, maybe information about our life, about our path. And we're going to go and we're going to bring the light and the positive consciousness and break through all of your little facades and deceptions, and invite in a much better reality for everybody. Really, it's just it's been way too closed off, and there should never be 25 people that have as much money as 50% of the bottom population of the planet. It just doesn't make sense. The disbursements, and then you see the corruptions and all these different things. So we need a change, and it's happening. This is a consciousness shift is happening, awakening beyond our wildest dreams is in this year, 2025. It's a huge forward in consciousness, and it's going to open up these doors to this love-based narrative to flow through, because now our hearts are opening, and the open heart system has a totally different reality requirement, and we are in a matrix of sorts, and so it has to respond to the open heart system, which means everything's going to change. It's going to get pretty cool, actually.
There you have it.
Fascinating stuff. Absolutely. Do we want to get to Holly's question here quick? Yep. Are the Greys collaborating to make an alien hybrid species? Or if not, do you know anything about a hybridization?
Yeah, that's been going on for a long time. And it's there's some species that have just forgot how to tap in, and to such a point where they're like this doomed like collective in a way where they don't have emotions, they can't feel, they're not in touch with their spirit, and so they had to figure out a way how to also reconnect and ascend, and like what's happening in our planet right now is working so well. And so the Greys came in and they started scooping up people and taking eggs and having hybridization children. But it was at a level before you come into life. If you were a part of that, you agreed to be a part of that. And it's actually a noble thing to agree, because you're actually helping out, even though it's all done under the worst of circumstances and you're abducted in this horrible experience.
Sure.
But from a level of the higher levels of love, you're helping a species that is basically completely lost, disconnected, to reconnect into that light and reconnect into that divinity, to begin to feel again, and it will emerge, and it will make a species that was just went totally into the technological for millions of years outside of themselves, where they can go back into themselves, and these hybrid children are going to do some amazing things and developments for the whole Grey collective. So it is actually a really positive thing, even though it wasn't done in the way that it could have been. It could have been it should be, these kinds of things should be more upfront and discussed, and not abducted and in that kind of a form. But it's just what happened.
There you have it, Holly.
Yep. Well, it was a
All right.
great night having you on the show. Again, where can people get your information?
Yes.
to
Take your
learn
time,
more?
both of you.
At your higherpowerbook.com. Your we put so we got this Mount Shasta retreat we're doing in May. It's just pretty cool. But we talk about that, but we talk about your higher power book. And we show the links where you can get it. And then if you want to reach out to Francesca, or go to her website, or reach out to me, go to my website. It's all on there. So we wanted to put it in a nice, easy way for people.
Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. This was so much fun.
What is that?
That was the retreat that 5 days, action-packed. David Starr, Francesca Rose at the highest vibrational locations on the planet, such as Mount Shasta, California. Wow. We need to raise that vibration. You need to read the geography vibration.
Yeah.
The abbreviation vibration.
Again, thank you so much for coming on. It was a great show.
Great show. We'll have clips of this going on social media. Feel free to post, reshare, anything like that, and all of that. So thank you, and we wish you the best. And be friends of the show. Volunteer to come back. We'd love to have you on.
I've been watching. I love it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Awesome. All right. Have a great one, guys.
Yeah, have a great one.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, interesting.
Absolutely.
I meditated out there.
I really love those two. They're really very professional in a metaphysical environment, in a metaphysical realm, right? Man, that guy, that meditation he did, how about that? You know what I mean? Like, that's something that we'll always have.
Well, I love to meditate.
I know you do.
But I fall asleep.
Well, I mean, that's a real sign of close to meditation. It is falling asleep, and millions and millions.
I would like to see. I would like to believe that they meet up. That would be cool.
That would be cool, and try to get a good night's sleep. Maybe they'll
send me a message. Come get me.
That would be cool. Now, have you had dreams where you've seen people you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And absolutely. Ollie, we'll definitely have them back on the show. Obviously, yeah, we'll definitely have them back. They're very interesting people. I've had dreams but my overwhelming dreams are, one, mundane, and two, the people that I see really aren't people that I know. You know what I mean?
Well, I dream about everybody. It's weird.
Have you seen?
The thing is, when I have dreams where I'm really active in my dream, I'm exhausted the next day.
Do you think you physically correlate? Like maybe if you were walking, or running,
I've run in my dreams. I've gone on hikes. I climbed mountains, and I'd wake up so tired.
Really? So I've had the dreams where I've had a dream where I've been shot, and I felt and I woke up on the shot.
I had a dream I was shot too.
And I would feel like the bullet or where it would have been on my body. I felt that before, which is really odd because if nobody's around you, how did that happen? So that one's an odd one. I told you, when my father passed, it was a lot of dreams in that window. You know what I mean? Of that. And he, I never really had one of seeing him, but it would be the house. It would be the car, Jenny. It would be, it'd be all of those types of things.
Yeah, Polly, I've dreamed of people who've died too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, I mean, other than that, I haven't really, but yeah, my dreams are relatively mundane, Jenny, like standing in line at a bank, ordering at a deli.
I have exciting dreams.
I don't have that many.
I'm always lost too. And I always go back to school, which I don't like.
Really? Like, are you younger?
I can't get home. I'm always trying to get home, and I can't find my way home, and I need someone to come get me because I'm lost. No, I don't like that. I don't like those dreams.
Are you a yeller or a talker?
In my dreams?
Yeah. Well, like in real life. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
People say they heard you talking or yelling or something.
I'm a talker. I'm a yeller.
There you go. Holly too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't had lately. Like I said, I haven't had very good night's sleep because my dog's sick. And it's so funny though because she doesn't leave me much room on the bed. And I'm
Now,
like,
now Jenny has
I
a big
can't
German
fall
Shepherd, so you
asleep.
guys know it's not a little dog.
What's that?
You have
What'd
a
you
big
say?
German Shepherd, just so you
Yeah,
know. Yeah, you don't have a little
she's
dog.
big. Yeah, she doesn't give me much room. Like I'm hanging on. I said, Ava, it's my side. Move. As soon as I get comfortable, she'll wake me up to go out. So
No, you go to potty.
I'll have to get. I'll have to. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I need my beauty sleep. I was falling asleep.
She
when he was
won't lay
talking.
anywhere else.
Well, well, she's having a hard time getting up on the bed. So I caught her in the chair next. We have a chair that I hardly ever use, and I woke up. I heard her go, and I opened up my eyes, and I told Alexa to turn on the one little lamp. And I seen her sitting on that chair that she's never sat on. I was like, oh my God. The only person that sat on that chair was my dad. It's weird because I
Aw.
have the same room that my parents, because I bought their house.
Yeah.
But some of the furniture in my room's the same. But it's kind of weird. And then, you know what? It's kind of weird at night. Like I was having a podcast this morning, my podcast, and I never did get to post it. I'll have to post it tomorrow.
Okay.
The nights are hard for me. I don't know about you, but my mind, I do a lot of praying at night because I
Yeah.
can't shut my brain off. And it goes into this weird place. And then I start thinking about, and I start meditating, and then it's takes me on I don't know what kind of weird place. Yeah, we have to find someone to interpret dreams, Holly. Yeah,
That'd be
it's
a
like
great
night
guest.
is hard. Night, it's like a different.
Are you
I wouldn't
feeling like
say
a lonely, a sadness, an anxiety?
it's just a weird. I question everything at night. I
Like you,
overthink things. Question everything. Life.
and that's
That's.
an anxious mind, making.
I don't know. It's like when they're talking about enlightenment and all that. And
Yeah.
thinking about okay, like when I listen to Bashar,
Yeah.
when he says that death is like you wake up. So if a dream if you take it the other way around, like if death is like life is like, how did he say? Death is like a dream, like you wake up from a dream. So he's saying that this is just a dream.
Okay.
It's kind of confusing. So, and our real life is death. What's on the other side?
I've
So
heard that too.
if you watch those movies where people are like in a trance and they're
Yeah.
like meditating, but they're on the other side, which is real, and this isn't real, or is this real? And that's not real. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
it gets
no.
too deep.
Well, I think consciousness is
Astral
where,
travel.
yeah, consciousness is where you're at. So whatever we're conscious at in whatever moment, we're going to think is real. You know what I mean? Have you ever like passed out, maybe had a coughing fit or something like that, fainted, anything like that?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I have, and it's a point where everything becomes surreal, and you might see, and I'm not trying to compare that to death, but everything becomes black in your periphery, and the only thing you see is what's in front of you, and it's kind of like you're in a car and there's something blocking all the side windows and the back window, and you can only see out the windshield. You know what I mean? And it's something like that where you still have to have control of yourself, otherwise you're going to fall and hit the floor. You know what I mean? And hurt yourself, or God forbid you're in a vehicle. So it's something where, this consciousness takes you to where it wants you to go.
Yeah, but what if our dreams are real?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And this is the dream. When we go to sleep at night, that's the real reality. That's the true reality. And this is a dream. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like when you go to sleep at night and you
Yeah, I
shut
understand.
down, it's like your computer shut off, but you go into it's sort of like Severance. I don't know if you ever saw Severance. It's a show on Apple. It's like
Yeah.
this is
I know what
the
you're talking about.
dream right now. And but when I go to sleep is my real life.
I mean, that would be terrible for somebody like me who I can't remember
'Cause
my
it's so
dreams. I
boring.
don't have a dream. You know what I mean? And
Because it's so boring. No,
well,
my
well,
dream
yeah,
takes
I
me. It
understand.
takes
I'm
me
not
all over the
exaggerating.
place. My dreams. I go everywhere. I go to different countries. I go to.
But
It's
like
like
how their
different.
example was, maybe my vibration or my frequency isn't tuned to that, whereas yours
Maybe.
is. You know, maybe mine, maybe I haven't done enough shadow work. Maybe I haven't raised my
I
vibration.
never even heard. I mean, I don't know what shadow work to me is just like,
Shadow
like
work
going to a
in my
therapist.
definition is fixing because he gave a little different one. I'll say that, but it's like fixing the defects to make you a better person overall.
Mhm.
So acknowledging, maybe I'm greedy, maybe I'm jealous, maybe I'm easy to get mad, maybe I'm short tempered, maybe I don't have a lot. Realizing what those are and working to get better at those defects. That's how I've always interpreted shadow work, where, you know what, maybe I need to, you know what, maybe I was a little short with Jenny on that call. Let me call her back and apologize. That's a form of doing shadow work.
Your dreams suck, Joe. I have
Joe,
some
give me a typical
nightmares.
dream. I want to hear what a typical Joe dream would be. Are you running? Are you falling?
I'm always running. Someone's always chasing me.
You've mentioned you're a runner in your dreams.
Yeah, I get.
But
I
while
get
we wait for
scared. I wake up in a panic sometimes.
your what?
But I don't know. Sometimes I wake up in a panic. But sometimes I have visitors in my room at night. They come and torture me.
Like
Torture. I've had some horrible dreams. I mean, I had night terrors.
Have you done the Hat Man? Have you seen the Hat Man? Like
I never saw a man with a hat, but I did see a creature in my room. I told you that before. At the foot of my bed, like it looked like a gray, and they were
foot of the
pulling my
bed, right?
sheets off. I had some funky ass dreams. I'm gonna tell you.
What about that video you sent me where you said something moved in that chair? What was that one about?
Just something sitting in a chair. But I think that was my dad because that was his chair, and that's the same chair that Ava.
That's the one that Ava you said was on.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. What's this? I recently had a dream about a drone picking me up and You know what? I never had a dream of someone taking me up in space or anything. I've always something stressful or sad. Yeah, I've had that too, Joe.
Sorry to hear that, Joe.
You see, Joe, what I do at night, and I know this. I'm a Catholic. Okay. I sleep with my rosary beads wrapped around my hand, and I sleep with a Bible under my pillow because that stopped the bad dreams with the Bible under my pillow.
Oh wow, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it stopped them.
That stopped the bad dream. What does that tell you about your dreams then?
That they're demonic.
Or that
I told you the one time that I had this crazy dream. This is when I start my spiritual journey, and I started doing my morning journals and all that. That I started doing the Bible, reading the Bible every day.
Yep.
I picked the Bible up. My one Bible has in the back of the Bible, it has like sadness, sorrow, depression, anxiety, anything you're going through, doubts, discernment, and whatever you're feeling that when I take my Bible. Do sleep with my mom's crystal. Yeah, that's what my mom. Those are my mom's has crystal. That's what I sleep with, my mom's rosary beads. When I first started my journey, my spiritual journey, I call it.
Of course.
And every morning now, I pick out a verse. When I have whatever I'm feeling that day, I'm feeling wary. I'm like depressed or doubtful about myself, hopelessness, anything you're feeling, joy, you go in the back and it'll give you a Bible verse. Well, when I first started to do my morning, podcast, well, before that, actually, I had this horrible dream. a horrible, horrible dream that something evil was pulling me down, and I'm screaming, no, like they're saying, no, you're not doing this. You're not doing this. I'm saying, no, no.
Mm,
I was terrified. And
yeah.
this evil presence was pulling me, taking me back. No. And I'm screaming, no. And I screamed, Jesus, Jesus. Cause I was so scared. Cause I said, no, they want me. It's like, Jesus got me out he pulled me back up, but it was like scary as hell. It was so terrifying. I'll never forget that, because the more I did it, Tom, the more I would read about the Bible and do Bible, the more this would happen. That this demonic, like he was saying, no, you're mine. And I said, no. Isn't that scary?
That's utterly terrifying, that
It
it's
is.
trying to pull you away from salvation, from
Yes,
doing something
exactly.
that brings you peace, from doing something that brings you joy, doing something that brings you
Mhm.
love and brings you closer to your faith, or
Yeah.
your
It's
spirituality. And for the fact that it's your mind is trying to take you away, you didn't listen.
It's constant. It's like night is, like I said, night and dreams and all that.
Do you
It's
feel it
like,
more? Do you feel more? It's more charged. The air's more charged there at night.
mhm. That's why I sleep with my Bible and my rosary beads. Keep it.
Oh my God.
And especially I wake up. Now, I don't know if this is a coincidence, but my dog wakes me up about 2:50, 2:40, 3 o'clock and that's when
That's the
the
witcher
veil
moment.
is so thin at 3
Yeah, you're
a.m.
right. You're right. You're right.
I don't do that, Nicole. Yeah. So the veil's really thin at that time. So I was told that's when you says pray. So I say, like, I'll say our Father, or I'll go on, and it's weird because I'll wake up at 3 and I turn on TikTok or I turn on YouTube,
Yeah.
and it's saying, you're supposed to, you woke up for a reason, because this is when those forces are the strongest, and that's when you're supposed to pray. So I get up.
Well, if the veil's thinner, it should be easier to get a message through. If you want to think of it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Holly, one time I was dreaming aliens took me and was drawing blood and woke up with a
Jesus
puncture wound
Christ.
in the crook of my arm.
God. It's
There's
horrible.
so many people, and Nicole, I don't want to call her out, but she's one of them that has had these dreams. Maybe not the same as drawing blood, but I wake up, I have a scratch.
Oh, I can tell you some really crazy stuff, but I won't go there because they're too things that happened to me.
I have a scratch. I have, a mark. I have a bruise. I have an indent. I have a puncture wound. Those are the physical evidence in this 3D world, right? That people often overlook, and I understand. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If you don't believe that it was aliens, you don't believe it was this, you don't believe it was that.
Oh,
but
it's too crazy. It has to be.
Show me what did that then in that room. Show me what gave me this puncture mark. If you were to tell me that, and something with a point or just like a rounded edge, but it's very thin, fell off the bed and it's right here on the floor. Okay, then I can believe, oh, you know what? It probably just fell and hit me and then fell on the floor. Nobody has that. Nobody has those pieces of evidence. And you know what the most utterly scary thing is, really? Is videotaping yourself sleeping. How much would that choke people up? I would never do it. I think it's almost unholy. I don't want to do that. Who would?
Because what if you saw something?
That's exactly my point.
I would never go back to sleep.
You're right. And what, in this world, you have a mortgage or you have rent, or you can't just leave. You can't just go out.
It's weird when you, because I did download that app that hears your snoring, it hears voices, and I heard something the most horrifying, non-verbal, like it didn't even sound human in my room once. I said, "Holy fuck!" I wouldn't do that anymore. I didn't even understand what it was. Was it me?
Was it even language or like?
It was a different. It was like me, but it was I was speaking in a different language. It was creepy as fuck.
I wouldn't want that. No, hell no. What are you talking about?
No.
Yeah.
No. See, my ritual at night, I make sure everything is I listen to Halo. They have the night. They have this. I'll show you what it is. It's really cool. Every night before I go to bed. So this is what I listen to before I go to bed. I'm gonna turn it up. You ready?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome. God, come to my assistance. Lord, make haste to help
It's
me.
Jonathan Romy from The Chosen.
Glory to the Father, and to the Son,
So that's what I
and to the
listen to
Holy
before I
Spirit,
go to bed. That's Thursday
as
night
it was in
prayer.
the beginning.
Okay.
So it's like 15 minutes, but I usually never make it past the first. I'm asleep,
Yeah.
but I listen to that. That's the Halo app, and they have like night
Good app.
Thursday. Like every night they have a prayer before you go to bed. Sometimes I listen to it 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
and sometimes I just listen to it and I fall asleep.
Yeah.
If I wake up in the middle of the night, like at 3 o'clock, and I can't get back, but I've been up the other night. My dog woke me up at 2:30.
Yeah.
I was up that whole till the next morning. I never went to sleep.
Ooh,
I know.
I can't.
Last night she got me up. Last night I got a little bit of sleep. I got up at she woke me up at 3:30. I fell back to sleep and then I woke up at 7, which I don't like to do that because I like to get up at
Look
5
what Holly
o'clock.
said.
What's that?
Look what Holly said.
I did that one.
Just like what you said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was speaking in tongues. How was I saying? I've heard people speak in tongues. That scares the shit out of me.
It's not human.
It's not.
It's not. I
It's
can't.
like, how do they do it? It's like, oh my God.
I can't even
And they're
think of how
really
you can try to
religious.
replicate
They're
it.
like, they're anointed or something because
It
they
has
have
to be.
this. They have to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, it's a great
Yep.
show tonight. I have
I
to
know.
leave you this because I got to get my jammies on.
Yeah. No,
Try
I
to
hear
go to
you.
sleep.
It's still snowing out here, so
Oh, I can't. 3 a.m. witching hour, also marking of the. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And
It
that's
is.
why I get up and I pray.
yeah.
3 o'clock in the afternoon is when Jesus died.
Yeah.
3
That's
a.m.
true.
Scary. Yeah, I get up and
Mocking.
if I wake up, I do say a couple prayers. I'll put that on and try to go back to sleep.
Well, there you go.
Oh, no, it's scary, but
Thank you everybody for tuning into this.
yeah, it was an
wonderful
interesting
episode.
show. We do
Love
have a
when the
guest
chat
for
is
next
active
week.
like it is tonight. It was wonderful. Holly, Nicole, let's see, William, everybody, Squatchman,
Yeah, thank you
Joe.
for
Thank you
joining
guys
us.
so much. You make it very, very fun to be doing this for all
If
of
you
you.
have any ideas of what kind of shows you like, let me know.
Yeah, yeah. Hit her up on the Chasing Prophecy Facebook page or
Oh, your
Chasing
son,
Prophecy
that's
Radio
horrible,
at
Holly.
gmail.com for idea episodes. We're always open to ideas. We'll do whatever.
And Holly, that's a horrible thing.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll see you next time. We do have a guest for next week. So I'll post it. I'll tell you who it is, but they
Yeah.
were supposed to be on this week until these guys came first. I
No,
say
that's
two,
good.
first come, first serve. Have a great night, Nicole. See you later.
Yes, everyone, be safe.